This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. This is Digimon Chronicles, where I am starting off my coverage of Digimon by reading to you, bringing you an audiobook, if you will, of Digimon Seekers, the web novel that is part of the anniversary celebration for Digimon. I think it's 25 years, I'm pretty sure, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say that. Anyway. So, this is continuing on with Chapter 1, Eiji, Wolf of the Ninth Avenue. This is Chapter 1, Part 12. It is 1,488 words, and it could take about 9 minutes to read, so I'm going to go ahead and get into it without further ado. This is the digital world. Words won't do. Eiji's ability to describe it simply wouldn't do at all. It's a cliched expression, but it would be more like a colony-type city built on an exoplanet in the world of science fiction movies. The sky is a sea of networks. The city is densely packed with buildings covering a small mountain, radiating out from the peak. The buildings range in height and quality from those reminiscent of the latest planned cities such as Denrin and the slums of the Middle East. On the other hand, there is absolutely nothing outside of the city in the surrounding area. Nothing of significance seems to exist. It's like a sand sea of noise, covered in sand, gas, and clouds. It's like a thin stream of junk data. So unexpected. What do they call that sort of thing? Cyberpunk? That's the best way to describe this. What's that supposed to mean? Lugumon poses the question to Eiji. I thought the digital world would look more natural. The image of the digital world that I saw in the lobby of DDL, which was apparently an AI's imaginary map, reminded me of beautiful nature in each of the 4 seasons. This place is called Wall Slum. Lugumon speaks matter-of-factly. Wall Slum? It is a city of security walls protecting the digital world, and a hive of junk data clinging to the outer walls of those walls. Security walls? Another word he has never heard before. If you look carefully, this city, Wall Slum, sits on a round surface. Ah, I see it now. Looking carefully, he can see that the horizon separating the sea of networks, that is the sky, and the shell of the security wall is round. It is clearer than, say, looking down at the earth from an airplane. The digital world is protected by a security wall. It's a city stuck on an eggshell. So the interior is underground? On Earth, it would be underground. But this is the digital world. The areas are divided and protected from each other. The security wall, or the ground you can see from here, is the data processing, logical, and conceptual boundary between the real world and the digital world. If you try to go from your human real world to the digital world via the network, you will be blocked by the security wall. Wait, then when we code crackers were controlling Digimon with tools, what we thought was the digital world, it was just Wall Slum. Yes, the Digimon that code crackers grab are just those running around Wall Slum. Most code crackers don't even mind Link, so they'll never even see this view. Lugumon's answer leaves Eiji speechless. For example, are Eiji's Tyrannomon and his friends chasing a Madoki Betamon somewhere in here? Has anyone gone beyond the security wall? Have they visited or observed the digital world? Humans? I doubt it, though I bet that Ryusenji is researching a means to do so. Unprecedented. The digital world has never been visited by any human being, with the exception being Wall Slum. Beyond the wall, so to speak, the deep digital world. Anyway, all knowledge and preconceptions about the digital world are turned upside down in Eiji when he borrows Lugumon's vision through a mind link to see what's at the bottom of the network ocean. It's easy to understand why the leaders of the international community are so reluctant to refer to the digital world as anything other than mankind's secret. The digital world can do anything to the real world and to mankind itself. Digimon are alive, and the world that harbors life, wherever it may be, is filled with an energy that makes no sense. Well, Lugumon takes a deep breath. A heads-up virtual monitor appears in front of Eiji's conscious mind, which was, up until now, only a thinking eye. It looks like the cockpit of a state-of-the-art fighter jet. It's like the cockpit from a robot anime. What's wrong, Lugumon? Eiji. You do remember why you came here, don't you? Oh, sorry, I forgot that you're a pathetic codecracker. Operation Wolf appears on the virtual monitor. Ah, Sons of Chaos, the SOC job. The shared briefing materials are displayed. According to the file, at these coordinates, I am to be briefed on the mission in detail by a local member of the SOC. And I'm 2 minutes late. A Digimon cloaked in rags is looking down at Eiji from the antenna facility on the roof of the building. Stage, type, name, unknown. No data is displayed on the virtual monitor. It's blocking the search. The only thing Eiji knows about it is that its size is about the same as that of Lugumon. You're late. It was indeed 2 minutes past the time specified in the operation data. Our leader, Tartaros, likes people to be punctual. We had some trouble. Surely you can give us a pass this time, the Lugumon replies. Hey, Lugumon. Eiji interjects. What, Eiji? Oh, the Lugumon is taken aback a bit. Before it knows what happened, Eiji is standing next to it. Oh, look at that. Eiji looked at his palms and tried to move his arms and legs. His clothes are the same as he was wearing before. Eiji, where did you come from so suddenly? Huh? I mean, when you mind link, you can control a lot of things on the virtual monitor just by thinking about them, right? And there's a HoloLens command too. Since this is the digital world, I thought I could maybe HoloLens, so I'd give it a try. And it worked. So you weren't scared that something might go wrong? You're pretty stupid. Or maybe brave is a better way to put it. Lugumon seems to have stopped thinking deeply. Eiji extends his hand and pets its forehead. Grrr. Huh? Did you growl at me? Don't touch my forehead. Lugumon bares its fangs. Whoa, sorry, but how can I touch you? You're a holization. Eiji is surprised that he can touch it. Lugumon rubs its head with its paws, like a cat. If a Digimon hololizes in the real world, it's just data. But if it hololizes in the digital world, the data is an actual entity in our world. Oh wow, a real hololization. Eiji manages to make sense of it. In case you're wondering, you can't get too far away from the mind-linked Digimon. In this case, me. Well, whatever. As long as it's easy. Standing next to Lugumon, Eiji turns toward the ragged cloth Digimon again. Like I said, I'm Codecracker Fang. I thought it was Eiji. The ragged cloth Digimon coldly rebukes him. No need to focus on the details. So what's the job? According to the information I was given by the interviewer, I'm supposed to ask for the details here. I'm sure the interviewer also told you that this request is a test to determine whether you, Codecracker Fang, will be allowed to join the SOC. You've already been deducted 2 points for showing up late. A virtual monitor opens above the ragged cloth Digimon. A rough map of Wall Slum is displayed. The city is basically circular. The city was divided into districts as if it were a pizza cut in rectangular shapes. The center of the city is a hollowed-out area that looks like a volcanic crater. This is 6th Avenue. The Chumon mentioned it earlier. What I would like you to do is to survey and map this area that is painted in this color. As you know, Wall Slum is undergoing a lot of redevelopment. This is a place where information from the real world is constantly flowing in, and not a day goes by that everything is the same as it was. Mapping? So you want me to make a map? Sounds fun. Wall Slum is very important to the SOC. We always want to keep our map data up to date. The Digimon tosses him a memory card type file. Eiji accepts it. A line of code appears on the virtual monitor in his hand. A mapping tool, huh? Lugumon understands the contents in less than a second. He is indeed a Digimon in this respect. All you have to do is walk around the area while running the tool, and it will auto-map it for you. We want you to investigate 9th Avenue. Lugumon laughs. Perfect. What do you mean? I've got some business to attend to. The Lugumon turns its head. Lugumon, are we good? I mean, in terms of explanation? Eiji hurries after Lugumon. The ragged-clothed Digimon quietly sees them off. I pray that you will pass. For Tartarus' sake. I hope the day will come when I can call you a member of SOC. And that is the end of it. So I stumbled and fumbled a little bit in my reading of it overall, which is not great, and I do apologize for that. This ragged cloth Digimon, this must be ragged clothed Digimon, or Digimon clothed in rags. That must be what that means. We have that image of, it looked like a person to me, but I guess it was Digimon in clothes that were like rags, or tattered, torn rags, and that seems to be what the proper translation should be, but that's not how they have it here. This one at the end is the closest to it, and yeah, that's too bad. This was okay. I'm getting more and more impatient. I wish we would have gotten to this a lot faster and just had a different narrative flow, narrative style, narrative structure. And I really hope I don't get to the point where it's a chore to read this, because I'm still interested in these little snippets that we're getting. But yeah, I don't really have much to say because I liked it a bit, and there were a couple key things that were okay. I like how much like Lugumon is his own, like he's alive. Digimon are alive, which they said again. So he's got his own thoughts about things. He has his own thoughts on Ryu Senji. He keeps like knocking Eiji a little bit because Eiji's kind of, I don't know, out of the loop or not with it, or a little slow on the uptake, it seems like, and Lugumon already knows what's going on. It's funny because he has so much information, and it seems odd to me that Lugumon would have this information and Eiji wouldn't have been briefed better on this to have more clarity. And it also seems odd that you can have a Digimon and a human who can have a mind link without actually sharing information. Like, they're compatible with each other somehow, but they don't know each other well. How does that work? Or does Lugumon have a good understanding of Eiji and Eiji just doesn't have a good understanding of Lugumon? Because that could be the case, which is kind of interesting. And I find it interesting that if this is a different person than the interviewer, this SOC contact said that he'd be praying for him. Is that just an expression, or is that literally that they'll be praying for him? Or is it that guy's quirk and it's him again, the interviewer, being in here? Or is that an SOC thing that we'll see come up again? I don't know. Tartarus is not a religious thing strictly. I think it's a tower from Greek mythology, from Roman or Greek mythology, connected with, I know this from like Persona 3. I was just say connected with Orpheus, but I don't even know if that's true. I don't think that's true, actually. So, and like, is he Tartarus or Tartaros? And what's the difference between those things? I think Tartarus is actually the correct translation here, and previously in the auto translations it said Tartaros, which made me think of Momotaro, so that kind of confused me. I think it's cool that when Eiji hololizes in the digital world, he can make contact with Lugumon. That makes sense because data is real there in that world, and he's also a data being, or in a data state in the digital world. So that's pretty cool. I wonder if that could lead him to getting into some sort of danger. And I like that Lugumon was like, "Hey, you're really an idiot, or you're super brave." There's a fine line between those two, because you didn't give a second thought about what would happen to you if you hololized here, and that was kind of funny. So anyway, I'm going to be working on pretty soon getting the Keikun translations done and read, and in a file that I update as I add chapter by chapter of the better human translation that he's working on for Seekers, because I'd like to have a refresher. I'd like to have it read through in something that's more intelligible and much better for understanding. So that's it until next time. Check out all my stuff on the website that you can find links to in the show notes. I hope you enjoyed that. Go to mjmunoz.com to leave any questions, comments, or other feedback you might have. There you can find all of my analysis, art, and fiction. I cover books, tokusatsu, comic books, anime, and more. Look around. You're sure to find something else that you'll enjoy as well. This has been a Story Over Everything production.